app that you're talking about.
Okay, I'm Tess McConkey, and today I'm going to give you an app review for the app Strava. So, first I'm going to, just to give you an outline of what I'm going to talk about, I'm going to talk about what is Strava, and I'm going to show you a video, commercial kind of for the app, and talk about some of the company's core values based on some interviews with the founders. And then I'm going to talk about how does it work, and I'm going to show you like screenshots from my phone, so you get an idea. And then I'm going to talk about how they make money with the app and some of the pros and cons to using it. So first, I know Miguel has a Strava because I have it on there, but does anybody else have it or know about it or heard about it?
I've heard about it, I don't have it.
You've heard about it? It's kind of gotten like taken off like the last 2 years, I'd say. I think I've had it, definitely had it since college, but I don't think I had it in high school, so like 3 years I've had it. But it's mainly for running and biking. You can also use it for swimming. I know Maggie swims, but if you wear a watch in the pool, which would be kind of weird. But you can also use it to log like any other fitness activities too. Like you can use it for weightlifting, yoga, hiking. There's like a huge list, skiing, some of the stuff I'd never even heard of, what the activities were. It was like real specific skiing types and things. But mainly I'm gonna talk about like the running parts, but everything I say with the running, all the features I talk about, you can also use for the cycling. It's pretty much like the same thing, so just keep that in mind. It can also be, anything I say like just running, it can also be used for like the other activities too. So I wanted to show you a commercial that I found for Strava. It's a little cheesy, and I wanted everybody to either use your computer or your phone notes or write it with a piece of paper, a comment about the video to share what you think maybe they did well in portraying their company values, or maybe something you think they missed the mark on, and how maybe, or maybe how it compared to some of the other apps we've been talking about. And then I'm gonna build on that and share what I thought some of the key things about it were.
If you hit that top button, it should play it. Yeah, hit it again. And then try hitting the bottom button.
Like the light?
The arrow. Oh, nope. Should have worked. Sorry. You can, I changed the camera.
I can like just copy and paste the link. It worked on my computer, but I figured it probably wouldn't work.
Knowledge is wonderful and works. Yeah.
I like to run by myself. Fast and far and free.
I like how it feels
To push myself.
to try things I think I can't do.
To break my own records.
I like the way it hurts.
Because it makes me feel
Alive.
I like to run by myself.
but even when I do, I know
I'm never alone.
It was really cheesy, but okay. So, what are your thoughts? Did you think they did a good job or a bad job, or how do you think it compares to the other social media?
Me?
Yeah.
I thought it was like motivational. Maybe you want to go
Yeah.
on.
See, we're like runners, so like for me, I liked it, but I was interested to hear because I know the class. I didn't think the class like ran, so I wanted to hear if they like agreed that it was like positive, or what did you think
I
about it?
think it was really pretty and like it kind of made me want to go run, but it didn't like advertise the product exactly.
Yeah.
So I didn't know exactly where it was going for.
Yeah. Yeah, they definitely didn't show. They didn't show any other people either. It was like these isolated.
Right, or like even the device. It's
Yeah.
I don't know, the app, I guess.
Does anybody else have any?
I agree, I mean, that, it was motivational, I guess, but like, they didn't say anything about like Strava,
Yeah,
about
yeah.
like the app or anything.
Kind of leaves like some mystery though.
Right.
It sort of like gave you an idea of what the app was supposed to be, or like
The
inspire you to
feeling.
do, the feeling of it, like sort of like you can run anywhere, run with people or not, or run like any climate.
Mhm.
But again, it didn't like showcase the product at all.
Yeah. Is anybody else?
I was gonna say they seemed happy.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely gave you like a good feeling, even if it's kind of cringy with the cheesiness. But I was just gonna talk about like how it compares to the other apps first, and then I was gonna get into some of like the values from the founders and how that related to the commercial. But for just like comparing it to Twitter, you don't really use it the same way. Like Twitter, we talked about like news, getting information out like really fast. And Strava's more like personal, because the famous runners and stuff aren't really like on there, so you're mainly following like people you know, and you're not really following it to spread information, obviously. And like you could see that with the video because it was like more emotional connection. Like they had the cheesy music and the monologues. Like it definitely went along with their purpose of their app is like more of an emotional connection than like spreading information. And I kind of think like Joey's presentation about Reddit, we talked about how it was like not for everybody, but it definitely, their audience, like runners love running, like the feeling that invoked the commercial like kind of catered to that. So it's not really, it's for more of like a niche like group, like Reddit was, like, because Reddit was like your specific interests, and we talked about how it's not really catered for like older people and stuff like that. And this was how one of the founders, Mark Gainey, according to the Rich and Roll podcast, he did an interview and he said, "If it's not fun and entertaining, we've missed the mark, because fundamentally that's what keeps us going." Which I think they did a good job of showing. Like they made it look really fun. They didn't show people trying to cross the road and wait for cars, and the guy was running in the middle of the street, and the one in a neighborhood and totally not paying attention to the traffic. So I think they did a good job there, but I think they kind of missed the mark. They said, Mark Gainey said again in another quote from the interview, he wanted to make everyone who sweats feel like an athlete, which the video didn't really do a good job of showing everybody. It basically just showed skinny white people who are already athletic looking. Like it didn't really show more of an inclusive everyone. Like he said, that's the core values. And I watched some other commercials. The cycling one was very similar, and again, they didn't really show like different kinds of people running, because obviously it's not just skinny young 20-year-olds running, white 20-year-olds. Like there's a lot of different people that run, and I think Brooks has done a good job just to compare. Their advertisements have shown a lot more inclusivity and different body sizes and different ethnicities and things. So that was just a comment I had about that. So I'm gonna get more into how to use it now. So this is what it looks like on my phone. It's kind of similar, like Instagram and Twitter have like the tabs at the bottom. Like your feed is pretty similar to other social media. You scroll through, and if you click on the name, it goes to their profile, so that's pretty much the same. But I don't think Twitter and Instagram have tabs at the top. So this has a following tab, which shows like all your followers' activities. And I think it's a good thing that they do chronological order, because now Instagram and Twitter don't do chronological order. And that's so annoying, because they do like some kind of algorithm based on what you're interacting with the most. So you can like miss people's stuff if you haven't like interacted with it. And then that's kind of a vicious cycle, because if you're not interacting with it, you don't see it. but then maybe you wanted to see it, but you're not seeing it anywhere. It's like harder to find. So I like the chronological order better. I don't know if anybody else does. So, and then this is the other tabs. Like the U tab just shows like your stuff, and the clubs tab is really useful. That was on there. The clubs tab is really useful for teams and things to. It has like everyone on there, and it'll show like another feed, and you can also go to the leaderboard, and it ranks everybody based on their mileage. So that's a good thing coaches can have to see if people are running on their own, because other sports I feel like you practice together more, but running you can very much like do your own thing, but then come back together, you know, a couple of days a week, especially with coronavirus and everything. I think that's definitely a perk. You can, you know, have smaller groups and social distance and things, but you can use it for that more. And then similar to other social media, it connects to your Facebook, so you can have, and also this one's showing mutual friends, but the next one would be Facebook, so you can find more friends and syncing your contacts. I think all the other apps do that too, so you can find people to add on there. And usually I just use it with my Garmin watch, but you can use an Apple Watch to sync directly to it. And I'm not sure if Fitbit syncs directly to it, but if you don't have a watch or you don't want to use a watch, you can just use the app. So it has GPS tracker, and it'll like show your distance and everything. So you can just like manually like do it in the app like that way. And this is the profile part. A good thing is it's not really like super negative like the other apps, which the with the photos and stuff, like you don't really have people like trolling and like bullying with comments and everything, because the photos aren't really like a big part of it. Not everybody posts photos really, and it highlights the activity more than the photos really, so it's not so much about that. But a negative thing about the photos part is it only lets you have, I think, 52 photos at one time, and then it deletes. Like if you put a new photo after 52, it deletes your old one, which I thought was weird, and I looked up why they did that, and it said their servers got like overloaded. So that kind of like sucks, because I like looking back at my old stuff, but you can't if you have like a lot of photos. And then it also, it has like a tab for your biking and your swimming, so it's pretty easy to use. You can get to everything easily, and it shows your total weekly time, distance, and your elevation gain, so you can easily see that. And then if you scroll, there are like challenges you can do, and it'll give you like a trophy if you complete like challenges. And it's like different distances and times and stuff, and again it like ranks you based on your time, based on the people you're following in the challenges. And then also like nationally, but usually you never get to see like your name on there because there's like so many people. But so leading into how they generate money from the challenges that I just showed, some of the challenges are supported by like athletic apparel companies. It's not like Nike and Under Armour, but it'll be like smaller brands, and they'll have a challenge for if you complete it that you get like a discount. So it's like really encouraging people to like shop there, which I think is really smart, because it encourages people to, you know, work out and join the challenge in a good way. I think that's like a good kind of advertising, because Strava doesn't have like Instagram like suggested ads and targeted ads. So it's this would be the closest thing to an ad, which the challenges don't really come up on your feed unless somebody you follow joined a challenge, or if you go to the Explore tab, they're not just like popping up on your feed. So it's really nice because it's not like annoying like Instagram and Twitter and Facebook have those targeted ads that are constantly on your feed. And also another way they make money, which is probably a lot bigger way than the challenges, is the premium version called Summit. And here are like all the features. I'm not going to talk about all the features, but the free version only really has the 3 features, which I have the free version, so the stuff I showed you is like the free stuff. But there's a lot of other like really deep analysis, like shows you your heart rate and all these like graphs and stuff. And I think the one that The reason I would get it, I think, would be for the safety feature called Beacon, which I think is really useful. It shares your location while you're running, and I don't think you have to have your phone. I think you can just have your watch. Because I don't like to run with my phone a lot because, I don't know, it's like heavy to carry if you're like trying to run like fast or something. So that would be nice to have, like, in case you know, something happens, somebody could like find you. And I actually read, I didn't put it in here, but I just thought of it. This guy was like mountain climbing or something, and he fell off, and his Garmin somehow knew based on like the impact, and I think he had the beacon thing, and it like notified people and like saved his life because he like hit his head and he was like unconscious. So that's definitely a useful part of the app. The app is, I didn't talk about the price, it's like $5 a month, which kind of seems like a lot to me, but there were a lot of features on there. And also it doesn't let you buy it per month, you have to buy a whole year, which I think is kind of ridiculous, but it does let you have like free trial before to see if you like it, so. So overall, I think the main pros are it doesn't have like the targeted advertisements, so they're probably not selling your data as much as the other apps if you're not having targeted advertisements. And there is a free option, and I think the free option does like what you need it to do. Like, it'd be nice to have the premium, but I think the free option is fine. And it's really good for motivation and getting people, you know, to be healthier and everything. It can connect teams, like I said, with the coronavirus especially. People can work out on their own but still be part of a team, and it makes them feel more connected to each other and being able to see what their teammates are doing even if they're not practicing together. And some big cons are there were so many more features on the subscription. It actually used to be 2 years ago, most of the subscription features were free, and they changed them over to be subscription. So that was kind of bad. Instead of like adding a lot more, they just like changed the stuff that was already free to be subscription, which is kind of sad. But and also I think it can be really harmful for your mental health if you're a super obsessive, like competitive person. You just kind of have that like addictive personality. I think you can easily get like addicted to it by constantly checking your stats. And like I said, with the leaderboards and the teams and the challenges, it ranks you, so you're constantly being compared. But one thing I think that's good that they just added that could have helped with the comparing is it used to just rank on like time or distance, but now they have a thing that gives you a prize if you run a certain course the most times. So it's kind of like a participation medal, but it could like make you feel good too. I don't know. So that's like a positive way I think that they maybe addressed that. But like everybody else keeps saying, the app is not really bad itself. It's what you do with it. So if you try to avoid, if you know you have obsessive personality and you try to avoid overusing it, I think that could be avoided. But I think it's a pretty good app. And here are my sources.